The headlines: Appeal Court sacks Governor Abba Kabir of Kano State. Court remands former CBN Governor Emefiele in Kuje prison. Troops neutralize seized bandits, recover 40 police military uniforms in Kaduna. And from the international scene, Zimbabwe declares state of emergency in Harare over cholera. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Sumaya Abubakar. The appeal court sacks Abba Gida and upheld the tribunal's judgment. Appeal also awards 1 million naira fine against the appellant. And now our reporter Shafiu Suleiman is joining us via Zoom live from the Court of Appeal. All right, Shafiu, tell us what is going on. Take us through the verdict.
Right, as you are aware, the appellate court has just, upheld the judgment of the lower tribunal in Kano, which earlier sacked the governor of the state, Abu Yusuf, of the NNPP. The Court of Appeal here, led by M.A. Adoye, Justice, unanimously agreed with the reasoning of the lower court, and of course even went ahead to query to challenge, if you like, or to raise its voice against the inability of the lower tribunal to, in the first place, disqualify the ANPP candidate, Abba Yusuf, for contesting the governorship election on the ground that at the time of the election, he was not a valid member of the NNPP who sponsored him, to contest the election. The appellate court, has cited several judgments in the past of the Supreme Court, where the honors of presenting a candidate, the procedure of presenting a candidate
is very clear that political parties must have to have the name of the candidate in their register and, of course, properly sponsor him. But in this case, the lower tribunal, as held by the appellate court, did not, was able to ascertain the fact that the name of Abba Gida, that is the sacked governor of Kano State, was not even in the list of the NNPP members in Kano. So having held that, the appellate court now held the position of the lower, now, remember the lower court did not rule in favor of the petitioner then, but now the Court of Appeal said it ought to have even ruled in favor of the petitioner who actually canvassed that the candidate of the ANPP was not a member of the ANPP at the time of the election. And then it also went ahead to look at other issues, because there were 9 issues for determination brought on 49 grounds. And of course, the appellate court resolved all the matters, all the issues for determination against the appellate, that is the NNPP Abba Yusuf, and then declared, if you like, or held the position of the lower court that Yusuf Gawuna of the of the All Progressives Congress, that is the APC, was the valid winner of the election. And went ahead even to also declare a fine, or rather impose a fine, or ask the appellant to pay the sum of 1 million naira for perhaps wasting the time of the court, and of course the other participants, the respondents in this matter.
What was the immediate reaction of people from both parties?
Well, the immediate reaction, as you can see, was that of given thanks to Almighty Allah. Immediately after the judge, talking about M.A. Adome, pronounced,
the position of the appellate court, there was a resounding Allahu Akbar, meaning Allah is the greatest. That was the reaction,
and it was overwhelming. In fact, the court, the judge had to ask the people to calm down. That is yet to finish the business of the day. That was the reaction, the immediate reaction. And outside the court, supporters of the APC governorship candidate, now the governor, the validly elected governor, as held by the appellate court, went in a celebration mood, and they were jubilating all over, thanking Allah for the victory. As for the supporters, if you like, and chieftains of the New Nigeria People's Party, that is the NNPP, whose candidate Abba Yusuf was sacked by the appellate court, they silently left the court. In fact, even in the process of the
delivery of the judgment, some of them have started moving out, except when the judge asked everyone to sit back and no one should move out. So it appears that right from the reasoning of the appellate court, that is determining the other issues of determination, they've realized that it was the case and then started moving out. And then after the judgment, they silently move out of the court. None of them actually was available to even comment on the judgment.
All right, thank you so much, Shafiu Suleiman, joining us live, of course, to give us an update on what is happening from the appeal court. Now, the appeal court, Abuja Division, on Friday has affirmed the victory of Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State in the March 18th governorship election. The panel of 3 justices were unanimous, awarding no cost, as the court ruled at each party to the matter should bear the course. In Zamfara State, the Zamfara State Governor, Dawda Lawal, has described the appeal court's verdict as a temporary setback for his administration. The court's 3-judge panel declared the Zamfara State governorship election inconclusive on Thursday, ordering a rerun in 3 local government areas, Maradun, Birnin Magaji, and Bukuyum. A statement released on Friday by the governor's spokesman, Suleiman Bala Idris, stressed that Governor Lawal was elected due to dissatisfaction with the state's prevailing conditions. According to the statement, the outcome of the governorship election on March 18th accurately reflected the people's desire for a shift towards positive development and progress. Governor Lawal appealed to the people of Zamfara State to remain calm, adding that his legal team is thoroughly reviewing the verdict and will follow through with the necessary actions to achieve a just outcome. The former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, was finally arraigned on corruption charges by the federal government on Friday at the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory. Emefiele was brought to court for arraignment by his lead counsel, Matthew Burka, a senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN, in compliance with an order of court. The former Apex Bank head, who was accused of conferring corruption advantages on a staff of CBN, Mrs. Saadet Ramalan Yaro, through awards of various contracts, however, denied the 6-count charges. A senior advocate of Nigeria, Rotimi Oyedepo, led the legal team of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, which is prosecuting the defendants on behalf of the federal government. Justice Hamza Muazu adjourned the case till November 22nd for ruling on the bail application of Emefiele and November 28th for the commencement of the trial. In the interim, he ordered that Emefiele be remanded at the Kuje Correctional Center. Now, 6 bandits have been killed in a clearance operations by troops of 1 Division Nigerian Army and Operation Whale Punch. The bandits were said to have met their death on 16 November 2023 when troops carried out an offensive clearance operations to bandit strongholds. The acting Deputy Director, 1 Division Nigerian Army, Lieutenant Colonel Musa Yahya, said in a statement that the troops recovered 2 AK-47 rifles, 4 AK-47 rifle magazines, 14 rounds of 7.62 mm ammunition, 40 pairs of bandits' uniforms and 9 motorcycles. He said acting on credible intelligence, troops carried out an offensive clearance operation to bandits' strongholds in Sabon Birni, Dogwandawa, Saulawa, Maidaru, Ngede, Allah and Kidenda, all in Birnongwari local government area of Kaduna State, and made contact with bandits. The General Officer commanding 1 Division Nigerian Army and Force Commander Operation Well Punch, Major General Valentine Okoro, has applauded the troops for their gallantry and charged them not to relent until all terrorists, bandits and other criminal elements in the division's area of responsibility are completely neutralized. The 23 Armored Brigade has intercepted and transferred 6 suspected cattle rustlers, 2 Hummer buses and 8 cows to Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps Adamawa State Command. In a press briefing by NSCDC in the state, Assistant Superintendent Nyako Baba, the command's public relations officer, explained that the suspects were apprehended at the military checkpoint in Numan. The 8 cattle are in the custody of Miyeti Allah for safekeeping. The state commander, Ibrahim Mainasara, has instructed personnel of the command to intensify search for the remaining 3 suspects while investigations are ongoing, adding that once concluded, the suspects will face prosecution.
That one Malam Auta masterminded the kidnapping of Alhaji Arande Mohammed, who was kidnapped on the 15th October this year in his house at Wuru Ahi before the local government, Adamawa State, at 11 p.m. in the night. The command has intensified effort to arrest the remaining 3 suspects that accompanied the suspected kidnapper Bakar Makau to bring them to book.
Operation Save FCT has recorded significant progress with the disruption of criminal activities in the Federal Capital Territory. The joint task force launched by Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, in recent time has carried out coordinated raids on criminal hideouts across the FCT. Dr. Yakubu reports.
The Joint Task Force, comprising of the Nigerian Police Force, Military, DSS and NSCDC, recorded successes with the arrest of 135 suspects at various black spots located at Kwali, Dusan Alhaji, Pape, Karu, Aya, Nyanya, Karimo, Karshi, Kuje, Airport Road, Bega Roundabout, Jabi, Orozo, Mararaba and many more. In a briefing, Commissioner of Police of the FCT Command, Haruna Garba, stated that as of the 135 suspects arrested, 75 suspects were arraigned in court for various offences, while 65 were sentenced to pay designated fines. The remaining 10 were sentenced to community service.
In line with the mandate of the operation, the Joint Task Force, comprising of the Nigerian Police Force, the military, the DSS and the NSCDC carry out coordinated raids of criminal hideouts, shanties, uncomputed buildings that are scattered all over the FCT. And of course, clearance operations in the bushes and forests at the borders of the FCT.
He added that 39 suspects paraded are under interrogation and will be charged to court at the conclusion of the investigation.
That out of these numbers, 75 suspects has already been arraigned in court for various offences, while 65 were sentenced to pay designated fines. The remaining 10 were sentenced to community service.
Also speaking, the suspects called on government to temper justice with mercy, alleging that some of them are innocent of the accusations.
So you don't arrest me with anything. Now inside my shop, you arrest me. Soldier, you check my shop, you don't arrest me with anything. You carry me come here. I beg government, may you help me.
They hold me at beggar. They just charge my motor. They see 2 wraps of smoke inside my motor. Since then I do here. This is 2 weeks now. Maybe government got have mercy to us.
The commissioner called on residents of the FCT to remain vigilant and report suspicious activities to the police and other law enforcement agencies. Dorcas Yakubu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
In the same vein, the Nasarawa State Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has arrested 21 suspected cultists terrorizing the Lafia metropolis. Abubakar Abdullahi reports that the suspect killed one person and inflicted machete wounds on several others. His report is presented from our studio.
Cultism is one of the crime security agencies are working day and night to curtail in the society. Nasarawa State is no exception to the menace, as at different times security agencies have arrested and prosecuted members of courts who have engaged in criminal activity. There has been a recent clampdown on court activities at different locations of Lafia metropolis as its outskirts, which has led to the arrest of members of these illicit groups. Jerry Victor, the public relations officer of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps in the state, narrates recent breakthroughs of the command.
This was as a result of incessant attack meted to individuals in the state, which led to the death of one Musa Abdul Karim, a 19-year-old, at Rimi Uku, Doma Road, Lafia, Nasarawa State.
The NSCDC PRO explained that the suspected cultists were found with locally made pistol, cutlasses, and other weapons which they used in perpetrating crimes.
This is the cartridge that this local made pistol is used. As you can see, it is a very known cartridge, that is being used on this locally made pistol. And of course, some knife, and then we have scissors and the rest. These are the kind of things they usually use to perpetrate this kind of crime.
The PRO maintained that efforts are on by the command to arrest more accomplices of the suspects in order to get rid of such crime in the state. Some of the suspects interviewed, who admitted to inflicting machete cuts on their victims, pleaded for mercy. The suspects are expected to face charges as soon as investigations are completed on their alleged offenses.
You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up, help arrives for survivors of IDP camp fire incident. This and more after the break. Stay with us.
As night falls in Abuja, the city's dark side comes to life. The speedy underworld of commercial sex work is flourishing in Nigeria's capital city. Despite the dangers and health hazards, young women join the trade every day in hopes of earning quick money and a life of luxury.
Every day, when I wake up, I used to ask myself, why am I doing this kind of thing? If I see myself on the street, I used to shed tears every day.
They say their families have no idea what they do, while their tears suggest some remorse, maybe pain and even regret. These ladies hope others will learn from their story.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Update on Trust TV. Here's a recap of our top stories. Report you, appeal court sacks Governor Abba Kabir of Kano State. And court remands former CBN Governor Emefiele in Kuje prison. All right, away from that, a day after a massive fire incident destroyed over 1,000 makeshift houses for displaced persons at Muna Camp in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, the government has responded with the provision of relief materials to cushion the impact of the incident. The Deputy Governor of Borno State, Usman Kadafur, visited the IDP camp to commiserate with survivors and assess the level damage by the fire outbreak. The Deputy Governor, while reassuring the displaced persons, said that the intervention by the government has become imperative to help cushion the effects of the incident. He added that the IDPs will be sensitized on the dangers of fire outbreaks and prevention methods to avert future incidents. He revealed that the government will resettle the IDPs soon. Some of the items delivered include bags of maize flour, mattresses, buckets, blankets, and other food and non-food items.
Gone round, you can see a household is cooking inside the room. And especially now that the weather have changed, I think we need to sensitize them on how to properly, manage fire in such situation. We have done a lot in terms of resettlement.
About 1,370. 1,370. That one includes the one that fire has engulfed it, and also the other structures that we tried to destroy to stop the encroachment of the fire to other sides of the community.
I'm so grateful for this support from the governor, deputy governor, SEMA, NEMA, and other agencies. We experienced a lot of problems after the fire incident, and it didn't take long. They responded immediately. We are happy. May God bless them.
From the international scene, Zimbabwe has declared a state of emergency in the capital, Harare, over a cholera outbreak. The outbreak has so far killed dozens of persons, with more than 7,000 suspected cases. The city authorities say the outbreak, spreading throughout the city, has invoked memories of a deadly outbreak in 2008 in which thousands died. Health authorities have been struggling to contain the high number of admissions following the outbreak, according to the International Federation of the Red Cross. It cites a lack of health workers to manage the cases, as well as lack of supplies to stop the transmission. Zimbabwe has been battling the deadly cholera outbreak in recent months amid a lack of access of clean water. And finally, in sport, Uruguay ended Argentina's 14-match unbeaten streak with a 2-1 or 2-0 victory over the world champions in World Cup qualifiers on Thursday, as Luis Diaz scored twice to fire Colombia to an emotional 2-1 win over Brazil. Defender Ronald Araujo fired Uruguay ahead of 41 minutes before the Liverpool forward Darwin Núñez made the game safe with an 87th minute goal on the counter-attack to settle a hard-fought clash at the Bombonera Stadium in Buenos Aires. It was Lionel Messi and Argentina's first defeat of the 2026 World Cup qualifying campaign and their first loss since they were stunned 2-1 by Saudi Arabia at the 2022 finals in Qatar. And with that, we wrap up news updates on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. Join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.